always struggling to get started, making that first move and getting stuck in with making a lifestyle change? Maybe you struggle to restart after a holiday or Christmas. Have you been thinking about making a change for weeks, months, or even years? Reading articles, watching videos, telling yourself, I do need to do this. And maybe tomorrow I'll start. But somehow tomorrow keeps moving further away. Well, you're not alone. In fact, one of the most universal challenges I see, whether it's in my clinic, online, or even in my own life, it's the struggle to take that very first step. So why is it so hard to begin, even when we know it could change our health, our energy, even our future? We might really want the ultimate goal, maybe even need it, but that first step just eludes us. I'm Dr. Nerys Frater, an NHS GP and founder of the Lifestyle Clinic. I spent years working with people who are desperate to feel better, to lose weight, to reverse diabetes, to get their lives back. And this video is about understanding why starting is so hard and what we can do to make it super easy. And you know what I hear over and over again is I just can't seem to start. Not I don't know what to do, or even I don't want it enough, but I just can't get myself to take that first step. And let's talk honestly about why this happens, because it's not laziness, not lack of willpower, and it's not that you don't care enough. It's something much deeper, something built into the way our brains are wired. Our minds are designed to protect us from risk, from discomfort, from the unknown. Starting something new, however positive, is a leap into uncertainty. And uncertainty triggers all those old protective parts of our brain that whisper, not now, not yet, wait until you're sure, wait until you can do it perfectly. And you might recognise this as procrastination, but it's more than just putting things off. It's your brain's way of keeping you safe. Safe from disappointment, safe from change, safe from the vulnerability of trying and maybe getting it wrong. The irony is, the longer we wait, the harder it feels to begin. We start to believe our own stories, which is I'm just not motivated enough, I'm too busy, I'll start after the holiday, after work calms down, after life gets easier. But life rarely gets easier, and that perfect moment never actually arrives. I know this, not just as a doctor, but as a fellow human being. I felt that hesitation myself. I've watched so many people, smart, caring, capable people, stuck on the start line, waiting for a sign, for the stars to align, or for that magical burst of motivation that never quite comes. But here's the truth. The hardest part of any journey is the first step. And the most important thing you can do for your health isn't to find the perfect plan or wait for the perfect time. It's simply to begin. Right where you are, as you are today. So if you've been struggling to get started, let's dig a little deeper together. Let's talk about why we freeze, what perfectionism is really costing us, and how the tiniest, most imperfect step forward can change everything. Because you're not alone in this struggle, and you're not stuck. I want to show you how the power of small changes can help you finally move forward, and why your first step is the most important one you'll ever take. So let's take a closer look at some of the most common reasons or logic we use to delay making a change. It's not to judge, just to gently understand and challenge them. So these are stories our minds tell us, and they can feel very convincing, but they don't have to hold us back. Reason number one is I don't have time. This is perhaps the most universal logic. I'm just too busy. There's work, family, never-ending to-do list. It's easy to believe there's no time left for you or your health. But is it really true that you have no time at all? Not even 30 minutes a week to learn about your health, to reflect, or to take a small step forward? Do you have absolutely no time to cook one meal from scratch? Our brains are so clever. They use the no time logic to keep us safe from the discomfort of change. But when you carve out even a little space for yourself, you often find that everything else feels a little bit more manageable. Remember, you do not have to overhaul your life overnight. Just make one small change. Reason number two is I don't have willpower. This is one of the most common and most limiting beliefs I hear. It's easy to think that success depends on some magical supply of willpower that you either have or you don't. But in truth, willpower isn't fixed. Most people who struggle to stick to it aren't lacking willpower. They're just using strategies that don't work for them. If you've relied on sheer force, you know how exhausting it is. But what if change could be about working with your brain and not against it? In my clinic, I see people who thought they had no willpower start to succeed once they have the right support and understanding. Reason number 3, delay tactics. I'll start after. Oh, this is a big one and it's very sneaky. So I'll start when work calms down. I'll start once the kids are back at school. They feel logical. They let us off the hook for now and give us a sense of control. But life is always busy. There will always be another holiday, another busy week, another reason to wait. The truth is, waiting for the perfect moment means you may never start. Progress will only come from starting, even when things are messy or imperfect. If you want your health badly enough, start before the holiday, not afterwards. Reason number 4 is I've tried everything before and it didn't work. And this logic is so understandable. If you've tried and struggled in the past, it's natural to feel weary or even a bit hopeless. But what if it wasn't you that failed, but the method? Most diets and plans are designed for short-term results and not real life. They don't account for your unique biology or circumstances. I see people succeed not because they suddenly become better, but because they found support and strategies that finally made sense for them. Your past attempts aren't proof you can't do it. They're proof you care enough to try again. And then the 5th reason, it's too late for me. And that's the most painful of all stories, isn't it? I'm too old, I've lost my chance. But you know what? I've seen people in their 60s, 70s and beyond make changes. Your body wants to heal. It's never too late to start. And every day you wait is another day you could be feeling stronger, better and more confident. So if you recognise yourself in any of these reasons, know that they're just stories. They're just logic your brain is using to keep you safe from the unknown. And now let's look to the solution. You don't need perfect timing, superhuman willpower or a flawless track record. You just need to begin. And these are 3 genuinely helpful tips that I've used to help get people over that starting line. The first is to let go of the need to be perfect. Perfection is one of those most persistent myths in the health and weight loss field. It whispers that if you can't do everything exactly right, there's no point in trying at all. But perfection is a moving target. It's always out of reach. And it's often the very thing that keeps you frozen. I see so many people waiting for the perfect week, perfect plan, perfect mood before they begin. The truth is, life is never perfect. There will always be a reason to wait. Birthday, holiday, Christmas, busy spell, just a day when you're tired and you don't feel like it. Let go of perfection. It doesn't mean that you're settling for less. It means you're choosing to progress over paralysis. It means you're willing to take action, even if it's imperfect, a bit uncomfortable. Every single person I've seen succeed started with the wobble, with mistakes, lots of learning. They didn't wait for everything to align. They just started and they kept going, even when it wasn't right. So if you catch yourself thinking, I'll start when I can do it perfectly, just notice it and remind yourself progress is always better than perfection. Give yourself permission to be a human, to make mistakes. Just keep moving forward. The real magic happens when you show up for yourself, even when things aren't ideal. The second is to aim to be good 80% of the time, not 100%. This is a liberating mindset shift. So many of us are raised to believe that anything less than 100% is failure. But the reality is being good enough most of the time is what truly leads to lasting change. If you aim for 80%, you're building in space for real life, unexpected events, the odd takeaway, slice of birthday cake. You're not setting yourself up for guilt or disappointment every time things don't go to plan. Think of it this way. If you eat 3 meals a day, that's 21 meals a week. If 17 of those are balanced, nourishing, aligned with your goals, you're doing brilliantly. The other 4? Hey, part of life, not a reason to give up. When you let go of all or nothing thinking, there's room for flexibility, forgiveness, self-compassion. And you'll find that you'll be able to stick with your changes for much longer because you're not burning yourself out or feeling deprived. Some of my most successful clients have embraced this 80% rule. They don't panic if they have a treat, miss a workout, have a stressful week. They simply get back to their good habits at the next opportunity, knowing that consistency, not perfection, is what moves the needle. This approach isn't just more enjoyable, it's also more sustainable, and it builds resilience for the long term. And the third is to start small. Break it down into tiny steps. Big goals can feel exciting, but they can also be overwhelming. When you look at the whole mountain, it's easy to feel daunted and not to even begin. That's why the most effective way to create change is to start small. Sometimes so small, it almost feels silly. Choose one action that feels totally doable. Maybe it's adding an extra serving of vegetables to your lunch, swapping a sugary drink for water, or taking a 5-minute walk after dinner. The beauty of starting small is that it builds momentum and confidence. When you succeed at one tiny step, your brain gets a hit of satisfaction. It feels good, and it really does help you keep your promises to yourself, however minor. And they stack up. And suddenly you find yourself doing things you never thought possible. One small change leads to another. Before you know it, you've created a whole new set of habits. I've seen clients who started with just one daily change, like eating a protein-rich breakfast, go on to lose weight, lower their blood sugar, and feel more energetic than they have in years. They didn't overhaul anything else, but they focused on that one thing and worked on it, and they let the effects compound over time. So if you're not sure where to begin, ask yourself, what's one small step I can take even this week? Make it so easy you can't say no. And once you've done it, celebrate that win. Then when you're ready, add another. And that's how real lasting change is built, one step, one day, one choice at a time. So as you look ahead, just remember, you don't need the perfect moment, a flawless plan, or superhuman willpower. You just need willingness and the courage to start, even if it's messy. Let go of the need to be perfect. Aim for good enough most of the time and start with one small manageable step. And if you want support, guidance, community that truly understands the ups and downs of this journey, I'd love to welcome you to my Blood Sugar Mastery Programme. Doors are open, and this could be the very first step that changes everything for you. So thank you for showing up for yourself, for being honest about your struggles, and for believing that you're worth the effort. Your future self will thank you for starting today, one small step at a time. Let's do it. Thank you.